Hello children, today we are going to read about the poem A Tiger in the Zoo written by Leslie Norris. But before we read the poem, let us talk about the poet.
George Leslie Norris. He was born on 21st May 1921 and he died on 6th April 2006. George Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He taught at academic institutions in Britain and the United States. Norris is considered one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period, and his literary publications have won many prizes. Some of his famous publications are Winding Gold, Sliding, Holy Places, and A Tiger in the Zoo. This poem contrasts a tiger when it is in its natural habitat and when it is imprisoned in a zoo. The poet sees a tiger in a zoo. The tiger moves slowly up and down in his cage. He is full of rage but is quiet in his helplessness. The poet is moved to pity for the tiger. He says that the tiger should have been in the jungle, but sadly he is locked behind bars in a concrete cell. Now let's begin the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage.
In this stanza, the poet describes the appearance of the tiger in the zoo and its daily movements. He says that the tiger moves up and down of his cage. The stripes on its body can be distinguished even seen from far, as they are darker in color than the rest of its coat. The tiger walks quietly without making a sound because of its smooth velvet pads. The tiger is able to walk only few steps because of the length of its cage. It covers that distance in a few mere steps only. The tiger is full of anger, but it is suppressed because he knows that he is helpless here.
He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass.
In this stanza, the poet is filled with pity by looking at the imprisoned tiger. The poet imagines another life for the tiger other than the zoo. He says that the poor tiger should have been in his natural habitat, that is, in the wild forest. He says that under normal conditions, the tiger would have been moving in the darkness, not in the clear daylights. It would have been lying in the shadows of trees or hiding itself behind long grass so that its prey will not be able to detect its movement. In this way, the tiger would have moved near the water hole where all the animals of the forest come to drink on sunny afternoons. There, near the water hole, he would be waiting for some fat deer to pass that way. Thus, he would be lying there in expectation of a heavy feast. In other words, the tiger should be left in the wild to hunt and gather its own food rather than be fed by zoo authorities.
He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, barring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village.
Here, the poet says that even though he would prefer the tiger to live in the wild, it is not as if it would lose all touch with human civilization. He imagines what the tiger will do in case he failed to find any prey in its natural habitat. He says that the tiger would be growling at the edge of jungle near some village. He would be showing his white fangs and claws while moving here and there with the intention of scaring all the inhabitants of that village. He would thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. The poet here gives a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn to our towns and villages to find their food.
But he's locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors.
In this stanza, the poet once again gets a reality check. He stops imagining that tigers alternate life and returns to its real one. He says that the tiger is locked up like a prisoner in a jail within a small cell made up of concrete. All the strength that resides in its body is locked behind bars of metal that make up the gate of its cell. Hundreds or even thousands of people come to see the tiger every day at the zoo, but it does not pay any heed to these visitors. Instead, the tiger prefers to stride all over its cage by itself and without any disturbance in the form of human intervention.
He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars.
Here, the poet describes how the day ends for the tiger. It stays awake till the very last voice of the zookeeper locking up and going home can be heard. After that too, it does not go to sleep. All night, park rangers keep a watch over the surroundings of the zoo while driving around in their official vehicles. The tiger stays awake and hears the sounds made by the cars of the patrolmen. The stars twinkle brightly in the night sky, and so do the eyes of the tiger. The tiger keeps staring at the stars as sleep eludes it always. It is rightly said that love for freedom is the natural instinct of every living being. Everyone loves freedom and does not want to live in confinement. Similarly, the tiger also longed for freedom. He was so fed up being caged that he even ignored the visitors. He took to and fro steps in the cage as if trying to while away the time. The tiger wanted to escape this captivity. God has made all living beings equal, and thus the animals too have the right to freedom. They should not be caged. It is their right to enjoy their natural habitat, that is, the forest, and run freely in the wild. We should thus respect their freedoms and should not put them in the cages.